Your love is better than ice cream, better than anything else that I've tried. Your love is better than ice cream. You and I both know how to fight. And it's a long way down. It's a long way down. It's a long way down to the place where we started from. Your love is better than chocolate, better than anything else that I've tried. Oh, love is better than chocolate. Everyone here knows how to cry. And it's a long way down. It's a long way down. Yeah, it's a long way down to the place where we started from.
We welcome you here. No matter your age, your size, or how you speak, you are welcome here. No matter the color of your skin, your hair, or your eyes, you are welcome here. No matter whom you love or how your family is composed, you are welcome here. Whether your ability to contribute comes in the form of time, talent, or treasure, you are welcome here. No matter how you expressed your gender identity or whatever your abilities, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you are welcome here. Come with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. You are welcome here. And at this time, I just invite us to just look at somebody, and all you have to do is say welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
And to those of you on Zoom, welcome. All right, so what we are doing today is as we begin and kick off this church year, we are going to be exploring the realm of possibility. And so what you will notice is that each of you were given a little halfway cut out pie with 6 little pieces to that pie. And those are the 6 different realms of possibility that we're going to be exploring today. So what we're going to do for each realm, I'm going to do a little reflection, then we have some fun music, and then we're going to take just a little bit of time for the congregation as a whole to write down what you think this community, this congregation can be within each realm of possibility, and some of the creativity, the joy, the fun that we can do within each realm. So that's kind of what today is going to look like. So there will be ice cream trucks, and with each different flavor of the ice cream baskets, the realms will go in, and then at some point we'll look at what all of you wrote, and we'll see where we're going together this year as a community. So that's kind of what today is like. So as we explore the realm of music and creative expression This congregation, one of the most valuable assets we have is the music program and the love of music, the love of song, and the love of art. We have we have quilters, we have some amazing artists. Creativity is just so important. And so I have shared this reading a few times with my congregation, but I just love this as we start thinking about what are the realms of music and creative expression we could see in this community. This is called A Day Without Art by Stephanie Millings. And like I said, some of you have heard this because I think I shared this back in June. But here we go. Let's just reflect on this. What would a day without art look like? We would have no authors to paint the visual images we muse over while reading poetry, fiction, and nonfiction writing. Without books, magazines, and/or journalism, written communication would be purely factual without the presence of various literary devices used to enhance meaning or expression. Music would not exist. There would be no singing to the radio in the car. Or, you know, if you have a 15-year-old who just told me like a month ago, she's like, Mom, I just found out there's this thing that you turn it on and it comes up with any music, you don't have any control over it. And I'm like, I think she just told me what a radio is. So anyways, there would be no singing to the radio or your iTunes group. There would be no attending concerts or singers performing the national anthem at ball games. Young children in school would not learn their ABCs, the 50 states, or other academic content through song. Since music would not exist, there would be no musical instruments, no bands, no symphonies, and no great composers. The inspiration for architectural design would be solely based on function without attention to form. Therefore, all buildings would have a uniform look. Inside of our homes, furniture and housewares would be plain, without a variety of shapes, styles, and/or colors. Our clothing would display the function of the garment as opposed to the aesthetic preferences of the individual. And look around, look at all the colors right now in these circles. Print and television advertisements would be plain, serving the purpose of announcing a product as opposed to marketing to a specific clientele. Going grocery shopping would consist of browsing over white packaging with black lettering with no catchy words or images to capture the essence of a product. There would be no actors because the field of theater would not exist. Therefore, television would be relegated to reality shows. And our viewing choices would consist of The Kardashians, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, or Survivor. Without movie, film screens would simply be used to display information as opposed to stories that cause us to think, laugh, cry, and consider our own humanity. So let's take just a moment, if you have your pen and one of your pies, to just think about what are the realms of music and creative expression that you might like to see in this faith community this year. Come on in. We have some chairs here or here. All right, let's sing as we write, or write and then sing, or do whatever we want to do. When the Spirit says do in your Till hymnal 1024. When the Spirit says do, you got, stand up! Come on. When the Spirit says All right, here comes the ice cream truck. Hold on, Janet. There is some confusion in the chaos today, which does not surprise me. So, with each piece of pie is a realm. Write your ideas, and now the ice cream truck is coming. You're going to put it in Phoebe's bucket as the ice cream truck comes around. Just one. Just one. Your ideas for the realm of creativity and music. And then you're going to write for each realm. We have all these different realms, and each pie slice is a different realm for us to vision together. All right, here comes the ice cream truck. Okay, this isn't going to be quite as organized as we envisioned it. So just put your pie in one of the baskets and we'll figure it out at the end of the service. All right, here we go. The chalice lighting, if you will join us for the chalice lighting, it actually, if you read it in the order of service, we've changed it just a little bit. We gather this hour of people of many flavors with different tastes, colors, and recipes for love. We light this Sunday of hope, signing of our quest for truth and eating in celebration of the sweetness we share together. Okay, all right, next, where are we? Okay, the realm of community connection. So we're going to try it a little differently this time. As I'm talking, and you guys can now on your second pie slice, if you're thinking about how we might be connected as a community, you can be thinking as I talk and writing as I talk. So when I think about community connection, a few years ago, one of our elders, Ernie, who is no longer with us, was at one of our leadership retreats, and he said something that was very simple, but I think quite profound. He said, all you have to do to help somebody feel welcome is to say hello. Let's think about that, right? All you have to do to help somebody feel connected is say hello. And so imagine if we just on a regular basis looked somebody in the eye and said hello, whether it's to one of our little ones who can be intimidating, or our teenagers who can be intimidating, or our young adults who can be intimidating, or our middle-aged adults who can be intimidating, or some of our elders who can be intimidating. And yet we're all just human. And we all just want to be connected. We all just need to be seen. And we all just want to be acknowledged. So sometimes it's as simple of just saying hello. And I came across this little post on Facebook a few years ago, and I've shared it before, but I think it's really beautiful. It said, One of the awesome things about Eeyore is that even though he is basically clinically depressed, he still gets invited to participate in shenanigans and adventures with all his friends. And they never expect him to pretend to feel happy. They just love him anyway, and they never leave him behind or ask him to change. What if we thought about that as what it means to be a faith community? What if we used that as a model? We have so many different people in this room. Some of us today are probably here and we're genuinely happy. Some of us maybe are forcing a smile, but we got out of bed and we showed up. Some of us may be dealing with some anxiety or some really hard things going on in our life, but we're here. And to me, true community connection really goes into those words of, we welcome you here. And I've said this many times, but I mean it. You're welcome here, whether you're coming with laughter in your heart or tears. You are welcome here. To me, that's the key to community connection. So why don't we take just a few minutes to go ahead and continue writing. And then Janet, in about a minute, but not right away, we'll start our second hymn, Come Sing a Song with Me. And then we'll have the ice cream truck go around. So we're figuring this out. Come Sing a Song with Me is in your gray hymnal. It's number 346. And for those of you who have been using our restrooms for the last year and have wondered what in the world that little piece of paper that says, come wash your hands with me means, now you know. So.
That I might know your mind, and I'll bring you
All right, here comes the ice cream truck for the second realm. Don't forget the guys back there. I turned it off instead of turning it on. Okay. All right, so the third realm is exploring the realm of spirituality. There's a little story about a young child who was busy drawing a picture, and her mom asked her what she was drawing. She said, "I'm drawing God." And her mom said, "Oh, nobody really knows what God looks like." "Well," said the little girl, "that's because I'm not done yet." Because children know what God looks like until we tell them. And the essence of childhood, I think, is that we as children, we intuitively know. We know and we have this intuitive understanding until the world takes that understanding and tells us what we're supposed to know and puts our own pictures on top of them. And then they substitute their internal knowing for our words and somebody else's authority, and we're off to the races. And unfortunately, we do that to ourselves even as teenagers and adults. We end up relying on somebody else's expertise and authority for a really long time, and some of us most of our lives. But I don't think that's how it's meant to be. I think that it might be really cool if we thought about raising our children in a way in which they never lose that intuitive knowing of who they ultimately are. And to me, that's kind of what spirituality is that it's a lifelong venture of exploring that, that free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And so I invite us to just think about that. What might be the realms of spirituality that we as a community can offer together this year? And as part of the beautiful music of the realm of spirituality, we have a beautiful trio with, I believe it's Janet and Miriam and Peg. And this is Blue Boat Home, and I love this song because it's a beautiful song, but we also have used it for some of the memorial services for some of our loved ones in this congregation. And so I just invite us to listen to this music and realize that it's truly intergenerational when we're connecting our spirits to all levels of our growth. This community of care is created through our work and time together, our commitment to one another. This is our covenant to walk together in loving fellowship, to share our hopes and values. As we pass this ice cream truck offertory basket, we thank you for your generous gifts which support the work of this religious community and Unitarian Universalism in the world at large. And you can, we'll have an offertory basket and a realm of spirituality basket. Okay, if you're paying close attention to your order of service, we have special offering words. Are you ready? This Sunday is a creation of ourselves. Its flavors and richness are our flavors and richness. Its tasteful bliss is what we share as we contribute to its conglomeration of flavors. We affirm our diversity within it. So we now move into the realm of social consciousness. And Mahatma Gandhi offered a good perspective on the importance of living in the moments. He understood that things change, and he never wavered his long-term goal, but he was willing to assess where he was in the present moments. And he said one time, "My aim is not to be consistent with my previous statements on a given question, but to be consistent with truth as it may present itself to me at a given moment. The result has been that I have grown from truth to truth." And sometimes as we work for social justice and social action, what we thought worked for us years ago may not be relevant, or it may not work for us now, or we may realize that after a few decades, what we were doing was unconsciously racist or oppressive in a way that we thought was enlightened 30, 40 years ago. And so I love these words from Gandhi for us to remember that we want to stay in the present moment. We want to stay in our heart. We want to stay justice-centered. And it's okay for us to learn and to grow and to change. Sometimes our intent is not the same as the impact. When that's pointed out to us, we take that in, we learn from it, and we continue to move forward. And to me, that really is what it means to be a faith community of social consciousness. We're not perfect, but if we are working towards having the best intention, we move forward, we stumble, we fall, we get up, we forgive, we look each other in the eyes, and we move forward. And so, with that, let us take a few moments to think about what it means, what the realms of possibility for social consciousness are. And the song associated with that today is going to be in your gray hymnal, number 121, We'll Build a Land. And now we enter into the realm of personal growth. Oh, the train, the train. All right, the train. All right, now we're entering into the realm of personal growth. And I've shared this quote a number of times too, but one of my favorite quotes from one of our congregants was from a man named Bill Timer, who told me, this was about 10 years ago now, but he told me in complete seriousness, he said, and it was in the process when we were moving out of the office, the space we were renting over at the Congregational Church to come into this building. And we had all these steps that the offices were in, and Bill had helped us move. And he, after about an hour, he looked at me in all seriousness and he said, "Wendy, I have to tell you, this 92-year-old body just doesn't move the way it did at 88. And so today, as I think about personal growth, I think it's a really good reminder that we never stop growing. We don't stop growing when we're children. We don't stop growing as teenagers. We don't stop growing as young adults or when we retire. We never stop growing, and Bill was such a great example of that for me. I remember actually when he passed away and his daughter had come to talk to me about the memorial service, and she said, "I have to tell you, Wendy, he worked so hard all of his life, and he was kind of a workaholic." And I cry every time I say this, but she said, the best friends he made in his life, he made in this church when he was in his 80s. And so it's just a reminder we don't stop growing. So if you think that you're too old to grow, think again. And I've shared this too, but one of my good friends is named Scott Hogue, and he's a chaplain at Hope West. And he sometimes writes really beautiful little reflections on his Facebook page. And he wrote this one time. He wrote, "A lesson I learned, which has influenced me ever since. I visited a man who was 92 years old, blind, and hard of hearing. When he was young, he had served as a chaplain in the trenches of World War I. Before I left, he asked me to pray for him. I have so much to do in my service to the Lord," he said. I looked at this frail man sitting in a wheelchair and asked, "What do you still have to do?" He was silent and then replied, "Scripture says your old men will dream dreams." Pausing, he smiled and continued, "I have dreams to dream." Scott wrote, "Now 25 years later as a chaplain, I too hold out hope that meaning and purpose is present in any setting or circumstance." So let's take a little bit of time to reflect on what personal growth means for us. Our song with this realm is "This Little Light of Mine" in your gray hymnal, number 118. And now, the tree, the train, the train, the train. All right. So, for those of you who are visiting or joining us for the first time today, one of our Unitarian Universalist principles is the free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And what I like to tell people when they ask, what is Unitarian Universalism? I like to say we're more comfortable in the mystery than telling anybody that we have the answers. And to me, I just love being in the mystery because you can't figure everything out in one lifetime or in one decade or in one sermon. And so being able to just explore and be free to be part of the mystery is a really beautiful thing. And I love this quote from the Course in Miracles, page 446, if any of you have it. It says, listen, perhaps you catch a hint of an ancient state not quite forgotten, dim perhaps, and yet not altogether unfamiliar, like a song whose name is long forgotten, and the circumstances in which you heard completely unremembered. Not the whole song has stayed with you, but just a little wisp of melody, attached not to a person or a place or anything particular, but you remember from just this little part how lovely was the song, how wonderful the setting where you heard it, and how you loved those who were there and listened with you. To me, that's what it means to be in the realm of mystery. And now as we enter into this last song, I'm going to hand this over to Joanna, who's going to explain to us what we're doing.
For this last song, it is in your hymnal. If you want to take a look at it and follow along, it is a fun challenge. However, for this sing through, we're going to be singing along with the fabulous Harry Belafonte and the Muppets, along with the video. We have been handing out some wonderful rhythm instruments so that we can have a full congregational hootenanny, as I call it. So if you would like a rhythm instrument, grab one as they come by. Otherwise, please feel free to dance. It's got a wonderful sort of Cajun beat, so enjoy. And great lyrics for mystery. Oh, yes. And if, in looking at the hymnal, you're like, oh, I only wish that I could follow it better, please consider joining us for our first annual sing-in that we are having for the interested choral or choir member folks this afternoon from 12:30 to 2 o'clock. It'll be an exploration into some of the music that we'll be singing as a choir and sort of just checking out the vibes. So we hope to see you there. And then this coming Wednesday is when choir rehearsals start for both youth music from 6 to 6:30, as well as our UUCGV choir, which I would like us to think of as intergenerational. And so I would say music or middle school up through high schoolers are more than welcome to join in on that choral music making. So look forward to seeing you soon. So as we're ready, if you want to turn to number 1074 to follow along, or rock out, dance, and let's sing along.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around.
We come from the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around.
We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Whoa, oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Whoa, oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who I am? See we one another clearly. Do we know who you are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Whoa, so is life, Abatiwa. So is life. Whoa, so is life, Abatiwa. So is life. Water make the river wash the mountain. Fire make the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain. Spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can the Spirit turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can the Spirit turn the world around. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who we are?
See we one another clearly.
Do we know who we are?
Do you know who I am?
Do I know who you are?
See we one another clearly.
Do we know who we are? Oh, so is life a Batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a Batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a Batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a Batiwa. So is life. Oh, so is life a Batiwa. So is life. Whoa, so is life a Batiwa.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm right-handed, but I throw with my left.
All right. We have special words still. We extinguish this Sunday, but not the sweetness of compassion, the warmth of hot fudge, or the foot of a sugar rush. These we carry in our hearts and stomachs until we are together again. And the chaos continues with ice cream. Oh, wait, we need the ice cream truck one more time. We still have the realm of mystery. Thank you, everybody. Go now in peace. We'll be less chaotic next Sunday. And if you're on Zoom, feel free to stay online and have a Zoom coffee hour.